You ever get that feeling that something's watching you? Like a presence over your shoulder just out of sight? That's how I've been living for the last 6 months, and I'm finally ready to talk about it. I don't expect people to believe me, but this happened. All of it. And if writing it down makes even one person think twice, it's worth it. I collect figures, designer toys, vinyl collectibles, weird limited run art pieces. The rarer and the weirder, the better. I don't care if it's from an underground Thai artist or a defunct Japanese toy line from the 90s. If it's strange and obscure, I want it. So when Labubu dolls started trending in collector circles, those creepy impish things with jagged grins and oversized eyes, I was immediately interested. But they were impossible to get. I'm not talking about just being expensive or sold out. I mean, even the usual gray market sources had nothing. Stock just dried up, and people started saying they'd been discontinued due to incidents. Of course, that only made me want one more. I joined a private Discord server for elite collectors. That's where I met a guy who called himself Wolfram. Total edgelord vibe, but he knew his stuff. He told me that the only way to get a real Labubu doll now was through some back-channel sellers on the dark web. I hesitated. I'm not into drugs or weapons or whatever else people do on there, but curiosity got the better of me. He sent me a Tor link, encrypted and full of strange symbols. The site was bare bones, no logos, no navigation, just a black background, a single image of a Labubu doll, and a purchase button. No description, just a warning. Do not buy if you aren't prepared to keep it. I thought it was some kind of inside joke. Designer toy sellers are dramatic like that. I clicked buy now. 300 in crypto. Not bad, honestly. I filled out the anonymous drop box I use for deliveries and waited. A week later, it showed up. No branding, just a plain cardboard box, sealed with wax instead of tape. Inside was a wooden crate that smelled like burned incense and old pennies. When I pried it open, the Labubu doll was wrapped in rough linen like a mummy. Even before I touched it, I could feel the heat radiating off of it. It was different from ones I'd seen online. The smile, a little wider, I guess. The eyes weren't the usual glossy black either. They were dull, matte gray, like the eyes of a dead fish. And it was heavier than it should have been, like it was filled with sand or metal. I should have sent it back, or just threw it away. It gave me really bad vibes. But I didn't. I put it on a shelf in my office, right above my monitor. Within an hour, I noticed it had shifted positions. I told myself I must have bumped a shelf, but that night, as I worked late, I kept seeing it in my peripheral vision, seeming like it was turning toward me. The next few days, things got weirder. I'd wake up to find it moved. Once it was on my desk chair, facing my bed. Another time, it was in the hallway, just outside the bathroom. I started hearing things. Scraping sounds like claws on wood. Giggles. Soft and high-pitched. I thought I was going insane, so I set up a camera. I swear on everything, that doll moved. But I couldn't see it on the camera. It was like a glitch, and then it was just in the new place. Honestly, it wasn't that convincing. It made it look like I had just edited it that way. That's when the dreams started. Nightmares, actually. And always the same. I was in a dark forest. Trees bent inward like they were trying to grab me. And the Labubu doll is always there, standing ankle deep in black water, holding something behind its back. When I get closer, I see it's a tiny twisted version of me. Its arms are broken, eyes sewn shut, and the Labubu whispers,
"One isn't enough."
I kind of stopped sleeping altogether. I started locking the doll in a fireproof safe. It still got out, though. No signs of forced exit. It would just appear, sometimes in the kitchen, once even in my bed, curled up beside me like a pet. I contacted Wolfram. His account was gone, deleted. Even the chat logs had disappeared. The other Discord users claimed they never heard of him. I posted on Reddit under a throwaway, asking if anyone else had bought a Labubu from that site. A few DMs came in. One guy said his doll stayed perfect through a house fire, though everything else burned. Another claimed his wife had been found unresponsive in the nursery, with the doll sitting in the crib next to her. My upstairs neighbor, a young guy who worked nights, was found at the bottom of the stairs, neck snapped clean. Cops ruled it accidental, but I knew he complained to me a week earlier about scratching in the walls. I thought he was just being paranoid at that point. The building's cat, a half-feral stray we all fed, went missing. I found its tail in my mailbox, just the tail, and one of the doll's tiny porcelain teeth beside it. I tried burning the doll, nothing happened. It didn't even get hot. I soaked it in holy water, buried it under a crossroads, took it to a spiritual healer. It always came back. Always. So then, in an act of desperation, I tried bringing in a second one. People had said that this could possibly distract the doll and make it stop bothering humans. It was on my bookshelf. Same smile, same dull, dead eyes. That night I dreamt of the forest again. This time there were 2 Labubus, each holding a twisted version of me. One was sobbing and the other was laughing. They said in unison,
You fed it.
I don't really know what that means, but they didn't bother me for at least a week after that. So I just keep on getting more. There are 6 now. They don't all appear at once. Some days, I see only one in a corner, watching. Other days, they stand in a row on the windowsill, grinning at nothing. I tried moving, but they followed. I have trashed them, drowned them, buried them in drying concrete. They always come back. This has made me lose jobs, friends. My parents think I've had a breakdown. Maybe I have. But I know what I see. I know what I live with. They're real. They aren't toys. They aren't art. They're parasites. Vessels from something old, something that feeds on attention and just wants to multiply. Every time someone searches for one online, every time someone clicks a photo, they grow stronger and spread. So if you're reading this because you're curious about Labubu dolls, do not buy one. Don't look them up. Don't even say the name out loud. Because trust me, just one will never be enough.